So you're a teenager and you're asking the question, do I need a girlfriend at this age? The answer is no. And before you shut down, let me explain the various reasons why I came to that conclusion. You don't need a girlfriend, not because you are very young or not because of your age. You are too young to enjoy that experience. None of that. It's actually quite the opposite. Because when you're with a lady, you're happy. It's all cuddles, Netflix, and things that connotes towards hedonism. As a man, it is pain that shapes you. And as a man, you're measured to the degree of what you can provide for society and the nation. Trust in a situation where you're always happy, chasing pleasure. That is a feminine thing. Adopting that kind of mindset would make you a weak opponent. You won't be able to compete in the masculine landscape, which would eventually lead to the girl leaving you, then depression, then suicidal thoughts, and your life begins to spiral downward from that point on. Every single one of you, you're going to agree with me when I say the most transformative seasons of your life was when everything went down south, was when everything capsized. Not when you were happy, not when dinner is on time, not when you had that relationship. It was when your lady insulted you because you're broke, or some guy looked you in the eye and kicked the shit out of you because you were too weak. And you decided from that day on, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to be muscular, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be intelligent. I refuse the lady to look me in the eye and make jest of me. This is the day every single one of that thing ends. I will feel shame in my life. Your 20s should be spent exercising, developing your mindset, building a business, building a personal brand. I can't emphasize this point long enough on the importance of building a personal brand. People believe they want fame, but what they actually want is brand or the opportunities fame brings. It becomes easier for you to do business with a personal brand. Instead of going out to look for people, customers, clients, opportunities are trafficking their way to your phone. Your 20s are when you are strong as an ox, trying to sow your wild oats or spending incessant amount of time doing cold approaches is a fucking dumb idea to live your 20s. You see, I have no problem with you taking out a day or an hour in a day and doing cold approaches, building your confidence. What I clearly am against is blocking out a full week just to do one of these dumb cold approaches. You're a full grown adult. You have no time to engage in those kind of activities. And the Bible states it clearly. When I was a child, I thought like a child. I understood like a child. I spoke like a child. And when I became a man, I put away childish things, childish discussion, childish argument. It's time for you to take control of your life. It's time for you to put away those kind of arguments. In fact, from that tripartite example, you see the exact correlation between your thought, understanding, then leads to speech. So how you think determines how you understand and interpret things. Your interpretation of situations determines your speech. Your speech leads to the actions or the ultimate quality of your life. Within 5 seconds of listening to a man, you can determine how he thinks. You can determine the quality of his understanding within 5 seconds of listening. If this is the case, the problem is to not just be articulate alone. It's important. The problem is not just to fine tune. your thoughts, but your understanding, how you interpret things. Because your thoughts leads to your understanding leads to speech. Your speech determines the kind of people, the kind of quality opportunities gravitating towards your life. We've seen dumb people articulate stupidity. Take those LGBT guys, for instance. They are clearly well spoken, but articulating a very stupid idea. How the fuck on earth will you be able to be convinced that you can switch gender and you're making an argument of it? Well, I think transgender people and you're against the eradication of trans people. Fucking asinine. I'm not against the right of gay people. But what I clearly am against is when their right begins to supersede mine. For instance, letting men into female sports or biological men into female sports is very clear that men have more advantage than women. That's the whole reason they segmented the sport in and of itself. They even went a step further to have weight classes. So someone in X weight can perform in XYZ weight. It's like the champion of featherweight division going to fight John Jones. We all know the outcome, regardless of what bullshit scientific research or testosterone reduction or all of those bullshit you come up with. There's only going to be one person standing tall in that case, and we all know who he is. So let's stop selling this false idea or encouraging this false idea. In fact, the trans people can come along and say, I had no idea this was going to happen. But my friend, just because you have good intentions doesn't change the fact that it hurts you in the process. If I swing a bat on your head, no. The intention wasn't to hurt you. It was to kill a mosquito. Would you take it lightly or would you file a lawsuit? Exactly. So what the fuck are we talking about? Address these issues. So as a young man, spend your 20s doing all of the above. The reason I'm so monumentally competent, internationally revered and respected, the reason most of you find me interesting is because at similar age, I've been able to do something. I've been able to replicate a result within a short amount of time, and you desire that outcome as well. I'm laying down the blueprint. Stop trying to edit it. It is arrogance for you to cherry pick the information you think. It's like a kid applying for medical school while picking the courses that determines his exam. The chances of you getting into medical school are in the single digits. You have to subscribe to the dealings of the teacher. Trust that the institution has a vetting system that insists you only get quality teachers. And if and ever they find out that is not the case with your tutor, they have a system of replacement. So trust that YouTube has recommended this video because they found me interesting. They found my content valuable. Subscribe to that content and change your life. Don't sit down there blaming people, pointing fingers, wishing you were someone else, wishing you were taller, wishing you had more muscles. My friend, life is brutal. We all play with the hands that we are dealt with. We play according to how we are given. There are some things you can change, there are some things you can't. For instance, you can't increase your height. What do? Play to your advantage. Do not die like this. Do not be the guy when you are 80, you look back and you regret how you live your life. You look back and you regret how you existed. You look back and you regret not starting that business, not asking that lady out, not going after it, not grinding 247. The pain of discipline is lesser than the pain of regret. As always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you well.